So this video is going to be what I call my economical cooking solutions when you need to feed a lot of people for not a lot of money. I've done a bunch of videos like this years ago with drumsticks and chili and black beans and things like that. What you're looking at here is some pork. I bought this for $7. It is a 3.5 pound piece of meat. It's got a nice fat back on it. We're going to put this on a pellet grill, and I'm going to keep this as simple as possible and as quick as possible so that you can try this at home. Again, this will feed a bunch of people at a very economical price. So I just took it out of the wrapper. I always kind of take a paper towel and just pat it dry. I don't get too worked up about the underside where the fat is. And all I'm going to use here, again, are very economical seasoning. This is restaurant-style black pepper. It's a little bit more coarse than regular pepper. You can use anything you like. So, again, I have bottles of spices like this in my pantry that are $8, $9, $10, $11 that have a lot more in it. I'm trying to keep this very easy. Inside here is sea salt. I apologize. I dumped all of it from the original container, but this is sea salt. This is not table salt. This is not iodine. So it's a little bit more coarse. Again, you can buy it at Walmart or a grocery store for a very economical price. So after I pat it dry, I just basically give it a nice coating. So again, this is not expensive seasoning. Pork loves some salt. I'm gonna do generous coats of both the pepper and the salt on both sides. So this is the underside. I always just kind of pat it down rather. Flip it over. Again, this side got a little inconsistent, so I just kind of move it around. Again, in my opinion, you can't use too much. You can coat this whole thing black if you want a whole lot of bark. Again, it's just to your preference, but I like it to be fairly even. And then what I do is, I just pulled this out of the refrigerator maybe, 5-10 minutes ago. I'm going to let this sit for about 20 minutes, maybe 30. I'm going to go out at room temperature, kind of let the temperature rise up, let some of that soak into the meat. I'm going to go fire up the pellet grill to 200, and then we're going to put it on, and we're going to cook it for roughly 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so for this recipe, I am going to use a pellet grill. You can use a regular grill, propane. You can use whatever you want. But again, this is a new piece of equipment for me. I'm doing some experimenting with it. These are hickory chips. You can use whichever one you like. Don't overthink that. For my pellet grill, you need to definitely make sure it's turned on, and then you kick it to smoke. You can hear the fan click on, which is under here, which then feeds the pellets. I'm gonna let it heat up for probably about 20 minutes, and my target temperature is around 200. So as you can see, we are rolling some smoke now. We're at about I know it's hard to see, about 183, 184. I'm actually gonna change what I said earlier. I'm gonna set it at about 180 on my pellet grill, and I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not going to open this for roughly 3 hours, and then I'm gonna check on it. So open it up. Again, don't overthink it. I'm gonna put fat side down, about right in the middle. I'm gonna close it up, and I'll see you again in about 3 hours. All right, we are exactly 3 hours into this cooking adventure. You can see what our pork looks like. I'm gonna use my thermometer right in the middle, about middle of the meat, middle of the thickness there. We're at about 148, which is really good actually. It's a lot more than I expected. Meaning I was expecting about 135. So again, we're 3 hours in. This is a 3.5 pound piece of meat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it in butcher paper. I prefer to end mine with butcher paper. You're gonna see a lot of videos where they spray it with apple juice, not sauce. I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simply wrap it in the butcher paper. I'm gonna put it back on, and I'm gonna leave my temperature at right around 180 for about another hour to an hour and a half, hoping that my internal temperature gets close to either, I'm looking for between 155 and 165. All right, so we've got the meat all wrapped up. Again, I'm not trying to make this confusing or complicated. Just gonna close it back up, double check to make sure that your pellets are still gonna feed, and then I'm gonna come back in about an hour and a half. All right, so I'm at 151 degrees. I'm right at 4 hours. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn up my thermometer for about, on my pellet grill, to about 225 for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to let it rest for about 30 minutes. All right, this is my last check. I was looking for around 155. It's been on for roughly 4.5, 445, with a little bit of varying temp at the end. This is what you do. I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm at 154. I'm happy with that. Only 1 degree off. There it is right there. Hope that helps. Hope that was easy. I'm not going to show you a video to cut it up, but I usually take it out or take it off the grill. I'll let it sit for probably 20 minutes, let it rest, cut it up, put it on a sandwich or on a dinner plate. It's that easy.